Guys, what's going on? So this is my continued coverage on Three-Eye Atlas. Three-Eye Atlas, Coma is the size of the sun. I mean, half the size of the sun. And somebody I was just talking to, they thought I said that Three-Eye Atlas was half the size of the sun. No, I didn't mean that. I meant the coma, just the coma around the object. The dust buildup, the plasma, and all that ring around the object is half the size, half the diameter of the sun, half the size of the sun. That means that this article is really big. But what I'm hearing, there's some latest updates on Three Eye Atlas, which I am going to get to. And according to what this guy is saying, he said now that it's interacting with the sun and different things like that, it's now forming a tail. Because we had said before that it didn't form a tail, so it's not a traditional comet. But the fact of the matter is, it is now forming a tail. Now that it's interacting and different things like that. This is a really significant situation that nobody's talking about. I mean, we're talking about a lot of other stuff. I don't care what nobody's talking about, but a lot of people are not talking about it on the mainstream media. And this is why a lot of people come to YouTube to get information, because the mainstream media I grew up in a generation where that's all we had to go on. And that and independent research, which independent research always trumps what the mainstream media is saying. They like to keep us focused on other things that really don't really, well, I wouldn't say that don't really matter. I can't say that, because what matters to you might not matter to me, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't matter. You just focus on whatever you want to focus on. But I'm bringing attention to this Three-Eye Atlas situation. It's not popular to talk about. However, it's here. It's in the solar system and it's interacting with the solar system. And when they're still studying it, because it's almost like it's acting a certain way where it's not like a traditional comet. However, it could be a comet. It just could be a large one, because it's now forming a tail. Okay, now that it's interacting with the sun and stuff like that. Now we're in September. And I had said I was going to come back because now we're in the month of September. And you know what that means. We have a month left. Well, more than a month. We have like a month and close to 2 months left, because it's coming in sometime October, where it's going to reach perihelion of the sun, the perihelion portion of this region of the sun, which is the closest you can get to the sun, is called perihelion, before you just be completely destroyed. But I didn't know anything about, I'm being honest with you, I didn't know anything about astrology or anything like that. I didn't know that the earth and the sun interact together. I didn't know that. I skipped that in science class. I didn't know that the earth sent out some energy. Maybe I did know. I don't know. I didn't know that. Earth recently sent out some energy, and the sun reacted to it simultaneously. It reacted to it. And also there was, I know that the sun have explosions all the time. I knew that, but now when I'm getting into this subject, I'm getting real deep into it. Like when I get into a subject, I like to get real deep into it to figure out what's going on. There is a lot going on, and they're keeping tight-lipped on it. I don't know what to believe, because some people, you got to be careful when you listen to certain people report on this, because they do it for clicks and they just say anything. Like I heard somebody say that the Three-Eye Atlas has communicated with us. Now I tried to do research on that, but the only research I found was channels, and I don't like how they're talking, guys, and they have the music playing, guys. Three-Eye Atlas just communicated with us and said that they're friendly and we better not resist or something. I don't know to believe that, because I don't have nothing to back it up. And be honest with you, here's the thing. Really, the only thing that you can really go on really is the spirit. And what do I mean by that? because you don't know who's telling you the truth or not. So you got to go with your own two eyes and try to make conclusions for yourself, educated conclusions for yourself. You know, when we were going through school, secondary, whatever school, college, you were always taught to get more than one source of information to put together a project, right? You don't just stay with one source of information because they could be leading you astray. So you always get more than one source of information and get some type of, you know how they say educational sources. But in this situation, we realize that education go far beyond the classroom. And once we start to realize how they lied to us on a lot of things. So this one guy that I listen to, he makes really good sense. But what I want to do is I want to, let's see. First of all, how's everybody doing? Hey, give me a like if you can. I know one thing with these likes, it's hard. It's like views. It's hard to get likes, man. Oh, it's hard. People they be holding them likes. They be holding them likes for dear life. Like I ain't giving you no like. F you. It's almost like the more I let me stop being. Let me stay focused. Um, let me go to before I go to who I want to. Well, let me. I might have to start here because he gave an update. His name is Stephen Burns. I listen to Stephen Burns, and he said the interstellar object. Okay, he said strange metal signatures detected from 3-Eye Atlas as it begins to grow a tail. The reason why we saying it's beginning to grow a tail is because um, it doesn't. Usually comets have tails. Okay, usually comets have tails, but now it's developing one as it's interacting with our solar system and things like that. But I want to stress again the coma, COMA, that's surrounding the object is half the size of the sun. I didn't say that the object is half the size of the sun. I said the coma that's around it. Because somebody said, man, Max tripping. He talking about this object is half the size of the sun. I didn't say that. You know what I'm saying? I'm learning this as I go along because I like educate myself on certain things, and this is something that I'm interested in. You know, I honestly feel this is where I feel. I feel as though I need to sue my schools that I went to. I need to sue my grammar school. I need to sue my high school. Okay, and fucking sue college too. The reason why, because I feel like, and I can't sue them because the teachers that were teaching us, they didn't know either. You know what I'm saying? They didn't know either about certain things that's going on. And also science, we're just figuring out certain things about the universe that we didn't know before. And I'm going to tell you something in my lifetime, just speaking of science really quickly, in my lifetime, did you know that the periodic table has been updated multiple times? That's how old I am. Just the periodic table. When I was in grammar school, there were certain things on the periodic table that wasn't there. It wasn't there. I can say I lived life long enough with a periodic table to have more than one thing added to it. That's crazy. And it's going to continue to add to it because there's a lot of things about this universe that we think we know and we don't know. Now they're saying that the telescope has picked up some things in the universe that is strange that we may have to re-educate ourselves on what the universe really looks like. Now, I'm gonna say this, and I was one of those people that did not believe that we landed on the moon. I'm just like, I'm not a flat earther, but I don't think I've ever seen a true picture of what Earth looked like. If you have, let me know, okay? Because the picture of the Earth that they showed us when they claimed that they landed on the moon, that was Photoshop. Somebody have already debunked that stuff. In fact, I don't think we didn't land on no damn moon, man. That's just bottom line. So that's how I feel. There's a lot of things that we don't know. Like, I want to know how this world works. I've always been that way. I want to learn how the world works. I want to know why is everything moving perfectly? What happens if something just stops? What happens if the sun just decides it want to act up? We're done. Okay, everything is in perfect alignment for life to exist. How is that the case? Now, normally when we tackle things that we don't understand, we'll just say God. That's what we'll say. It's God. Because we don't understand it right now. We don't even understand our brains fully. We don't even understand it fully. And so, yeah, so let me just go to this real quick. Let's let you hear this.
Physicist Stefan Burns here. There is a huge interstellar object that is hurtling through our solar system at this moment in time. This is
No, you
3I
can't see it.
Atlas, and no one really knows what 3I Atlas is, so I call it an interstellar object.
Let me stop right there. He said, no, I have to give my commentary because I'm using, y'all know how YouTube is. He's saying that this object is in our solar system. We really don't know what it is. Why can't we call it a comet? We can't really call it a comet, even though it is forming a tail. But they don't know what it is. They being real. I don't know if they being 100 with us or they really don't know what it is. I'm thinking they really don't know what it is. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm thinking. They really don't know what it is.
The mainstream view is that it is an interstellar comet. There is a large group of people that are saying that it's some sort of alien technology, either sent to monitor the solar system, perhaps even to send some ships out when it's at its superior conjunction as viewed from Earth. That'd be October 21st, because it'll be blocked by the light.
Okay, let me just show you this real quick. This is how it's gonna be on October 21st. Let me see if I could. Hold on. What I'm gonna do is hold on. Where is my? Oh, I don't have my window cover. It's in the. It's in the. Hold on a second. I gotta roll. It's hot anyway. Hold on one second. I gotta get my window cover out so you guys can see it because the sun. Hold on one second. I gotta do this so you can see it. So you can see the video. I should have did this before I went live. I should have put my window cover on. It's not like I'm trying to block out the sun because I like the sun on me, but for the sake of this presentation, we need this. Let me know if y'all can still hear me because I don't cut the car on. You know how my car be doing with my phone. Anybody can hear me, press one real quick if you can still hear me because, all right, y'all can still hear me? Okay. Look how this thing is, and look how this thing is going to be. You see that? That's 3i Atlas right there in purple. There's the sun and there's Earth. We're not going to be able to see it. When it's passing through the perihelion, we're not going to be able to see that bad boy. So it's like something is being sent. They don't want us to see it. Let me take this cover off so I can grip the iPad better. It's crazy, isn't it? Very exciting stuff.
Of the sun in front of it. And then there's some people saying it's a psyop. Others are saying that it's some galactic fleet returning back to liberate Earth. There's a whole bunch of ideas as to 3I Atlas, what it is, what it's going to do, whether it's even real or not. And well, here on this channel, we're devoted to the truth and what is actually 3I Atlas and what is actually happening in our solar system with the sun, the Earth, other planets, and more. So there is new data that has just been released on 3i Atlas, some new optical imagery showing that 3i Atlas is evolving. It has changed since when we first picked it up to where it is now in the solar system.
Let me show you. It's evolving. It's actually now forming a tail. It's forming a tail now. You know how they had said before, you see that orange? Wait, you see that right there? It's forming a tail now. Because you know how usually comets have a tail. Now that it's interacting with our solar system, is now forming a tail. It's forming one. But the being that this object is so bright, it's huge. It is huge. Being that it's so bright.
And this is a common feature of comets, that they start to undergo changes as they get closer and closer to the sun. And so let's go right into that. We'll see how 3i Atlas has been evolving. Here, though, is our optical imagery from July 3rd, just a couple days after it was first picked up by the Atlas Observatory. That's why you have the Atlas in the name of 3i Atlas. And this is our green optical band, our red optical band, our infrared optical band, and then some information here. Image at about 3.4 astronomical units from the Earth. Well, some time has passed, and now we have new imagery from August 27th, and this is via Gemini South, whereas this July 3rd imagery is from NGPS. And we have the same optical bands here, though the exposure times are different. For example, this is 150 seconds right there. This one there is only 60 seconds, but we have our ultraviolet band, our green, our red, our infrared. We see our nanometer wavelengths of light right there. The visible light spectrum is 380 to 750 nanometers, and this is imaged from 2.59 astronomical units from Earth. So again, geocentric. Can you see the difference now in these images? There is some changes in the scale, as we can tell, but what you'll notice is that 3i Atlas went from this kind of round, diffuse, dimmer object to now clearly having a anti-sunward tail. Because here is our sunward direction. We also see this plotted up there. And as it has gotten closer to the sun, it has finally evolved a typical cometary tail. So there is a lot of interesting things as it relates to 3i Atlas, but we are now seeing more normal cometary behavior from it, at least as observed with this composite imagery.
So yeah, like you said, it's now showing more commentary on characteristics as a regular comet. Because before they don't know what they like. We this thing. First of all, they said this thing is huge. Okay, if it's a comet, this is probably going to be the biggest one ever recorded. They said this thing is huge. But the only problem is though, is the way it's interacting with the plane, with the planetary plane. It's going perfectly. It's almost like it's going through and taking snapshots. It's going perfectly, and when it gets to perihelion, it's actually going to speed up. It's going to pick up its pace, and so yeah, this is a very interesting search situation. So we're going to have to pay attention to certain dates and look up at the sky, because when it gets to the sun, we're not going to be able to see it, because it's it's on the opposite side. So you can look up at the sun right now, wherever you at. Just look up at the sun. It's going to be in back of it. You're not going to be able to see it. As big as it is, you ain't going to be able to see it.
Taken on August 27th via Gemini South. This is down in South America. There's also Gemini North, that's up in Hawaii. We have an image from earlier taken by Gemini North. So this is very clearly now looking like some sort of comet, though it does have a lot of features that are quite different than any sort of comet that we have basically seen fly through our solar system. Here we have our James Webb Space Telescope data. And
oh, by the way, I'm going to give you the link to this video in a second after he's done. But I'm going to warn you with caution when you go to his page. This guy don't predicted earthquakes. I don't went back and like binge watched all his video. He don't predicted earthquakes. And guess what he just said? I don't want to scare nobody on the West Coast, but he said that big plate out there, that big fault y'all have is active. It's like he said right now, it's ready for some action. but we don't know when it's gonna happen. He said it's gonna. He said when that thing erupt, he said that bad boy is getting ready to erupt, and he said it's gonna be a big one. He said, and he said as of right now, as of this date, he said that fault is. He said both of them. He said that fault is locked and loaded, and it's ready to go. And he said he just don't know the date that it's gonna happen, but he said it could be any time now. It could be any time. He said it is. He said it is locked and loaded, and he predicted an earthquake that was gonna happen, and yet one just happened, and he predicted the region. But he said he pointed at California. He said there it is. It's in red. He said it's locked and loaded. He said it's locked and loaded, and he said they're due for the big one. The last time California had a big one, I think it was in the early '90s. He said they due for one anytime now.
We see that has this very diffuse coma around it. And so these are different wavelengths. So like this is 1.2 micrometers, 4.3, 2.7, 4.7. They correspond to different chemicals or elements. And so, for example, right here, 2.7.
All right, let me stop right there. You see the coma that he's talking about, like that roundness around the object? That's half the size of the sun. That means this object is freaking huge, whatever it is. But they don't know exactly. They're guessing on how big it is. They're thinking maybe that at more, it's bigger than Mount Everest. However, they still don't know yet. But they're saying that coma is the diameter is half the size of the sun. So the thing is huge. So it's gonna have some interaction with the sun when it gets close to it. But goddamn it, it's on its way. It's on its way. It's on its way.
That is the spectrum for water, and then we have CO2, and we also have carbon monoxide. And so we're seeing that it has a huge amount of carbon dioxide in this envelope of gas and dust that's surrounding it. And if you have gas, if you have dust in space, and you're near a star, you have plasma. So in fact, this coma is a complex dusty plasma, which has a whole bunch of interesting, unique electromagnetic signatures to it. For example, you can have these dust acoustic waves that are in that tens of hertz zone that can propagate through a complex dusty plasma. You also have these ion acoustic waves, and you can have complex dusty plasma organized into areas of hot and cold, and they form these boundary layers, and they have this sort of crystalline structure that they can form under unique situations.
Let me say this real quick. You know what he said? He said something without saying it. That coma that's around it, he said it's alive. He said it's consciousness. It has consciousness to it. Just like we're sharing consciousness, just like the sun is sharing consciousness, that thing has consciousness. He said it could be information being sent. That's what he said. He said it could be information being sent to us. But he said it has consciousness to it. Plasma does have consciousness. That's what makes up the universe, right? And the particles that make up the universe is us. Is what's inside of us. But he said that bad boy is conscious. And guess what? The sun is starting to interact with it. It's almost like the sun is communicating with it. Yo, check this out. You know what? When I was in Catholic school, right? The priest, he was observing our religion class one day. He was observing our religion class one day. He was just sitting back there, and I always have questions. And the nun had told him, he said, watch out for this kid. Listen to what he said. Max, what was your question the other day? I said, I want to know what God is. And he was just like listening. She was like, well, none of us have seen God. I said, yes, we have. And she was like, okay, where is God? You said the sun. You said it's like, I said, what do we need for life to exist? I said, what happens if we don't have the sun? We're toasted. I said, that might be it. It's right there in front of us. It's a white light. It's right there. It's looking at us at all times, because you said it's omnipresent, right? Why can't that be? You know what the priest told me? He pulled me aside. I was in recess. He pulled me aside. He said, don't repeat that again. He said that could get you killed. He said serious things could happen to you if you repeat that. And I was like, well, did I say anything wrong? He said, no, that's the problem. That's all he told me. He wouldn't explain it no more. And I've been thinking about that my whole life. Like, what did he mean by that? And then the only thing he told me was the sun has information. And he said the sun is alive. I said, that thing up in the sky? He said, yeah. He said it's alive. And he said, we're taught not to stare at it. But he said if you put shades on, the right shades, and look at it, he said it could give you information. He told me this. He told me this when I was younger. He said if you ever need it, just put on some shade and look at it. That's what he told me. But that sun interacts. Now the sun, I'm not saying it's God, but it's something. But the sun is interacting with this object right now. It's interacting with it. I never known the sun could do that. Did you? I'm thinking the sun is just hot as hell and that's it. And we need it or we'll fucking freeze to death. That's all I thought. Like I didn't know that it interacts with Earth. It interacts. If the Earth sends energy out, the sun will explode in a spot. It's like it's interacting. I'm learning a lot when I'm learning about this. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I slept in science class. I mean, class when they talked about the planets and stuff. I slept in class. I didn't understand, but I'm learning a lot right now. But did you know that there could be? Well, we'll get to that. We'll finish this. Hold on. But yeah, he told me. He said, "Don't keep repeating that stuff. What you saying about the sun?" He said because he said, "I'm just letting you know it's alive, and people you don't want to be spreading that information." He said something will happen to you. He said that to me. Not that I said anything wrong.
Situations, so they can actually take on these different crystalline shapes. It's not just a random, chaotic, disordered mess like a typical gas is. Right? You have a gas canister in a room, they all just start flying everywhere. Complex dusty plasma, because the dust grains accumulate a lot of charge, they become electromagnetically active. That force is 10 to 36 times more powerful than the force of gravity. Now gravity is effectively irrelevant. And as you get close,
Did you hear that? Gravity is irrelevant to this thing. That's why it's not going to get sucked into any planet gravitational pull. It's irrelevant. This thing is coming. Hold on. Let me let you hear that again.
to 36 times more powerful than the force of gravity.
It's 36 times more powerful than the. It's 36. It's 36 times. I don't know why people don't walk their dog on a leash. That's a man. It's crazy. It's 36 times more powerful than gravity. You said it's 36 times more powerful than gravity. So gravity is irrelevant to this thing. What is this?
Accumulate a lot of charge, they become electromagnetically active. That force is 10 to 36 times more powerful than the force of gravity. Now gravity is effectively irrelevant. And as you get closer and closer to the sun, a lot of the neutral gas, as it's called, that's not ionized, will ionize due to solar radiation, ultraviolet, extreme ultraviolet, X-ray flux, and also from plasma, the solar wind, being emitted from the sun, hitting these molecules and causing some degree of ionization. There will be a degree of recombination that occurs between an ion and electron, but you'll always have some amount of plasma. So as 3I Atlas has gotten closer and closer to the sun, it has expanded its coma and has now formed this tail. And what you'll see here is that this coma surrounding it in the visible wavelengths is quite large. Here we're looking primarily at like the dust. We see it's about 25,000 kilometers across. This was imaged there. This is right at the beginning when we first saw it, so further out. It's expanded since then. If we look at our Steer X image, they estimate that its CO2 dominant coma, it's about 8-to-1 ratio of CO2 to water, which is very bizarre and anomalous as it relates to comets. Of course, this is an interstellar object, or
Even though it's forming a tail, just from what he said it's very it's anomalous. This is an anomaly. This is something we've never seen before. So they don't understand it. They're gonna have to study it obviously when it gets closer. They don't know what this thing is. They don't. They said theoretically this probably formed in the early creations of our universe, billions of years ago, right? And it's just leftovers, remnants from that that's been traveling a long time and shot out. However, that could be it because they're saying that but they said theoretically there shouldn't be any particles that large though. But how do they know? It could be leftover. It could be particles that large. This is just the first time we've ever seen one. However, it's not operating still, even though it's growing a tail. The characteristics of it, from what I've been studying, because first I had to start what is a comet. I did my research there. What the fuck is a comet, right? And I started looking at the characteristics of a comet. We never seen nothing like this. This is something. I mean, we ain't never seen nothing this sexy. Never. We ain't never seen nothing this sexy in the sky.
Interstellar comet, perhaps. Therefore, it's expected to have different ratios of these things. But we see that it has a huge coma, about 700,000 kilometers in diameter, and that is half the size of the sun. We have this huge interstellar object flying through. Top estimates of about 50 kilometers in diameter for the object itself and its coma, or again, this complex dusty plume. Top estimates of about 50 kilometers in diameter for the object itself and its coma, or again, this complex dusty plasma surrounding it, is very low density, but half the size of the sun and electromagnetically active. That is quite bizarre. But we do see now very clearly that 3i Atlas has an anti-sunward tail. So we see the direction of the sun there. We see its vector of motion. They are basically aligned right now. It's doing its close flyby of the sun. It's perihelion on October 30th or so.
Okay, so right there, let's stop right there. That's a very important date. It's reaching perihelion around October 30th. So that's we got almost 2 months to go. Just a month and 29 days. It should reach perihelion. Yeah, this thing is setting up to be something big. But it's anomalous the way the characteristics, the makeup of it is. My thing is, it is a damn spaceship. I don't know. Like, what is it? And the thing is, it's so we don't have no technology to really see it and to really get up on it to see what it is yet until it gets closer. But let's say if this thing was launched by somebody, they had the smarts and the wherewithal to say, you know what? We don't want to go to where they could study us. Let's go in back of the sun. Well, to our perspective of the sun, it's in back of the sun. Like right now, my head is the Earth, right? The sun is right here. It's gonna be right. It's going this way. It's like that. We ain't gonna be able to see it. So my thing is, did they do that on purpose? Or whoever did it, like if it is made by something, like they don't want us to study it or whatever. But whatever this thing is, it's coming in perfect. Perfect. It's coming in perfect.
In the orbit of Mars, and we see now it is forming very clearly some sort of coma. So as it's getting closer and closer to the sun, that solar pressure is causing this coma to push out behind it. We even see it very faintly there in our higher frequency measure of optical light, again, right at that boundary of like ultraviolet. But it is definitely getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So not only is this coma very, very large, it's also now extending behind the comet for a long time. And there's quite a long history of the electromagnetic dynamics of comets and their tails, because they form these electric currents and they actually form these Birkeland currents that spiral behind them. So as 3i Atlas gets closer and closer and closer to the inner solar system, and the sun is becoming more electromagnetically active and alive. And what we see is that often when we get big comets, or even like Oumuamua in 2017, to fly through the inner solar system, we get enhanced solar activity and even sometimes increased geophysical energy here on Earth, like earthquakes. One day before its perihelion, we had an 8.2 magnitude earthquake in Mexico, the strongest.
He said the last time a big comet came through, when it reached perihelion, we had an earthquake. And he said they had an earthquake. I didn't know this. I didn't know that when the sun has certain activity, we can have an earthquake. Maybe I just was asleep in school at that time. I don't know everything, guys. I don't. I didn't know that. I didn't know when a comet, when it's having different geo activity, we're gonna have a damn earthquake. So we might be setting up for something. So around October 3rd, we need to be really looking at the news or really paying attention to what this guy is saying. This guy predicted an earthquake already. He said, "Oh yeah, earthquake getting ready to happen." He said, "Give it a couple days. It's getting ready to get as an earthquake coming." And he predicted that earthquake that happened in Russia. He predicted on his video because I went back and watched it. He said, "Oh yeah, the sun is interacting. Something getting ready to happen." But the coma is getting bigger. The closer it gets to perihelion, the coma is getting bigger. It's getting bigger, but it is forming a tail, but it's getting bigger. It's crazy.
Of 2017. So interstellar object 3I Atlas is much larger, traveling much faster. Again, its perihelion velocity is going to be about 68 kilometers per second. That's if it doesn't do anything different. If it is some sort of technological craft, perhaps, then it could slow down or could speed up, but we're not seeing really any indication of that.
Stop. I'm gonna tell you right now. If it, I'm talking about when it passes perihelion, when it passes it. If that thing, when it gets to when I say gets to safety, when it means it gets far away from the sun, if that thing slow down, ain't no bills getting paid. That's an aircraft. Ain't no bills getting paid. Because everybody gonna be worried at this point. If that thing slow down, it stops. Nah, it ain't. All bets are off at this point. All bets are off. That means they got superior technology. That's something sexy. We ain't seen nothing that sexy. Never seen nothing that sexy ever. I guarantee you it's a sexy ass spaceship. I guarantee you if it is one. Let me rewind, because look, he said the last time that a comet was Muamua, the last time Muamua interacted with perihelion, we had an earthquake. And this is bigger than Muamua. This object is bigger than Muamua, and the comet is bigger than Muamua. I mean, the coma is bigger than Muamua. So what are we about to have? Because the sun is already interacting with it already. So what's going to happen to Earth? Like, what's going to happen? You said the Jessica Rabbit of comets. This ain't the Jessica Rabbit. This is the World Series of comets. This is the pennant. This is the pennant of comets. Or it could be a ship. I don't know.
Not yet, though it does have very unusual signature as it relates to its coma elemental composition. It's really enhanced with nickel as compared to iron, which is quite a bit different than most of the comets that we observe in our solar system.
Stop. Nickel. And that's most comets in our solar system has something else. What is it then? It might be something. Hold, let me rewind back.
As it relates to its coma elemental composition, it's really enhanced with nickel as compared to iron, which is quite a bit different than most of the comets that we observe in our solar system. And that increase of nickel is going up much faster as it's getting closer and closer to the sun as compared to most other comets that we have observed from our own solar system. This 8-to-1 ratio of CO2.
I'm starting to get like vibrations. I'm starting to get, you know how like not vibrations, they call it, you know, when your hairs go up in your arm. That's somebody made that. That's what I think. That's what I think, yo. Honestly, in my being, I think it's a probe. I think so. I can't prove it though. If that thing, once it get out of perihelion and it gets to safety, if that thing slow down, I'm going outside. I promise you, I'm going outside, because that's it right there. That's it. But we'll see.
To water is actually pretty similar to the atmospheric composition of Mars, which is quite interesting. It also has a reddish color. We can see that very clearly right here with our red optical imagery of 3I Atlas. This is the wavelength of light that really shows 3I Atlas the best. That was also the case back here with our initial imagery there, July 3rd. We see the clearest image of 3I Atlas in the red wavelength. So it has a red color to it, just like Mars, and there's a lot of interesting synchronicity between 3I Atlas and Mars. Not only is it doing a very close approach to Mars around October 3rd.
Hold on.
Back here
Y'all
with
gotta
our
see
initial
this.
imagery there, July 3rd, we see the clearest image of 3I Atlas in the red wavelength. So it has a red color to it, just like Mars.
Wait till you see
there's a lot
this.
of interesting synchronicity between 3I Atlas and Mars. Not only is it doing a very close approach to Mars around October 3rd, it's also probably about the same size as Mars's moons. You have Phobos and Deimos. And
Oh, no. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. This thing is about the size of Mars' moon. What is this? What is it? What is it? Look. This is they showing you Deimos and Phobos. Look. That's Deimos and Phobos right there. Right? There's another moon too, but it's like what, 3 or 4 of them? It's like that size? That's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. It's that size? Hold up. Let me go back to what he said, though. What's up, Keeper? Spirit is telling me this is something else. That's what it's telling me.
Wavelength, so it has a red color to it, just like Mars, and there's a lot of interesting synchronicity between 3I Atlas and Mars. Not only is it doing a very close approach to Mars around October 3rd, it's also probably about the same size as Mars's moons. You have Phobos and Deimos, and they're all right in that tens of kilometers diameter zone. And well, 3I Atlas is estimated to be about 5 to 50 kilometers in diameter. So there's a lot of very interesting resonance between 3I Atlas and Mars. And right now it appears to be an interstellar comet. That is what the evidence is suggesting, but that does not diminish the fact that it's a very interesting object. And just because 3I Atlas is most likely interstellar comet does.
Look how big look how big the Coma is. Look how big that is. Let me show you something real quick. Let me show y'all. Look how big this is. Okay, you see it, right? Let me show you something. What's the name of that? Oh my God, what's the name of that mythological planet called? What's the name of it? What's the name of that mythological planet? Oh, I can't think of it right now. It looks the same. Thank you. I got it. Thank you. Now let me show you what that looks like. What they say it looks like. You see the Coma around Nibiru? That's the Coma. That's the intricate dust clouds and plasma and everything like that guy was talking about. That's it moving through outer space. That's how they depicted it. Get a good look at it real quick. See the Coma? See how big the Coma is? The Coma is half the size of the sun, right? Look. It's the same shit. They're saying that it's like the size of one of Mars' moons. That's how big this is. We're going to see it. We're going to see it. When it gets past, when it gets past, when it gets past perihelion, that's the closest that you could get to the sun. Like this is the sun. You can't get on the sun because you're gonna get destroyed. But the closest it could travel to the sun, that's perihelion. Once it passed perihelion and get to like what I call the safe zone, meaning away from the sun, we're going to see it. That's how big it is. We gotta see it. What is this thing, yo? It's that big? You can't tell me. No, you can't tell me it's this big, yo. You can't tell me it's this big. You can't tell me that. You can't tell me it's this big.
Does not mean it's not significant as it relates to the dynamics within our soul and also consciously, because we know that consciousness is more than, for example, math.
Yeah.
Or, for example, space and time.
I'm not sure, like, I don't know, John. I don't know what that is. They said this thing is red. They said it's red, right? He said it's red. He said it's red. He said it's red. He said it's red. This this mythological depiction of Nubaru is red. He said it's. I'm not saying it's that, but that's what I'm thinking. Like, what is this thing? It's red. Now, my question is to anybody that know out there: once it passed perihelion and gets past the sun, will we be able to see it? Will we be? I know the telescopes might be able to pick it up. Scientists are already talking about. There's one of our probes that's in Mars right now. We have a probe out there in Mars. I didn't, y'all know that, right? We got a probe out there. They're trying to attach that probe to it. They're gonna try to. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm saying. If this thing is passing through, it don't have to hit us. It don't have to because it's millions upon millions of miles away. It's not gonna hit us, but the way the sun is interacting, we could start having earthquakes or whatever. Something might happen. Something might happen. He even said it.
Time. Consciousness is everywhere. It's present at all scales than, for example, math or, for example, space and time. Consciousness is everywhere. It's present at all scales. We have consciousness. Other things have consciousness too. The butterfly flying outside your window, it has some degree of consciousness. Your pet dog or your pet cat, it has a personality, it has consciousness. And the most groundbreaking ideas as it relates to consciousness is that consciousness is actually an inherent property of the quantum field. What does that mean? Quantum represents the smallest observable part of a system. So basically, it's our smallest resolution look. And therefore, the quantum field is a field that is manifesting these smallest observable particles. And if consciousness is inherent in the quantum field, then consciousness is inherent in everything. And one of the primary attributes of consciousness is free will. So these particles are popping in, they're popping out of existence, right? It's all probabilistic once you go into quantum physics. Free will is the determining factor, you could argue, for why an electron decides to pop into a certain orbital versus a different thing or whatever. If consciousness is baked into the quantum field from which everything else manifests, which would be math and physics and, of course, our reality and life and more, then consciousness is in everything. And we see that you have higher states of consciousness connected to material things that are more complex and have these internected systems of energy, frequency, vibration, and resonance. So you can also add in general resonance theory. And so the more complex something is, the greater degree its consciousness. The Earth is incredibly complex geophysically, has 50 lightning strikes a second. That is scale invariant to the neural spiking in our brain, and also generates the same frequencies, these Schumann resonances, as our brain waves. That's in that 0 to 50 hertz range, also at the same strength, both in the electric field and in the magnetic field. So we see this scale invariance between ourselves. We know we're conscious, and then the Earth. Well, 3i Atlas, with this very large Coma, comprised of just neutral gas, a lot of CO2 and water, but also this complex dusty plasma. It also has these acoustic dust waves that propagate through it at, guess what, 0 to 50 hertz. And there's all these other wave properties.
Meaning that it's conscious. Whatever it is conscious.
Inherent to complex dusty plasmas. We know that they can go ahead and form these very ordered structures where they separate hot and cold components, and there's clear boundaries between them. They even take on a crystalline structure, which is very interesting because what happens as these dust grains, they accumulate charge because of their size, and electrons become very mobile the moment they're ionized. And as 3I Atlas gets closer and closer to the sun, more and more of the neutral gas surrounding it will ionize. Well, the moment you have that, these dust grains can take on charge. They can then start to either emit electrons under certain conditions, or they can then take them on. So they can both be positively and negative.
It's conscious. That's crazy. It's conscious. The sun is conscious. The sun is already interacting with it, already shooting stuff out at it. Okay, the sun is very active right now. It's very active, and they communicate with each other because it's conscious. This is something that we can't even understand. That's what's happening right now because we've never experienced it. But I promise you, when it gets to Perry Hill, and we need to be. I don't know if I'm gonna be doing nothing around that date. I'm just gonna be in the house or somewhere outside or something like that, trying to get that consciousness because I feel like it's something we need to get. Whatever it is, we need to get it. And I feel like we're now in the age of enlightenment. And you know that the earth is supposed to change. It changes every several thousand years. The earth changes. I think we're close to that lifetime now where the earth is supposed to be going through a change or something. It's like right around now. We don't know when it's going to happen because the calendar is man-made. We don't know at what time it's supposed to, but whatever universal time is supposed to. But there's a universal time. But I honestly think this thing was sent to us. It's crazy.
Negatively charged, and they start to interact with each other, forming these crystalline structures. They have a clear cellular structure that they form in a way that's beyond really our current understanding. We need to do a lot more in situ measurements and also laboratory experiments with complex dusty plasma. They generate their own electromagnetic frequencies, and those can propagate out. They have their own internal magnetic fields and electric fields. It sounds very similar to what happens in our brain and in our body. It's just at a different scale, and it's beyond our normal conception of understanding. But there is a tremendous amount of evidence suggesting that consciousness is also attributable to plasma, the fourth state of matter. It's just not a consciousness like we are used to, but in many ways it is very, very similar if we look at its internal processes and the internal electromagnetic processes happening within our brain, which seems to be a receiver of consciousness from the unified field. And so we have our own kind of spiritual expression, and our consciousness comes in from the unified field, and our body and mind is really just a receiver for expressing this in the 3D realm. Well, what sort of...
This sounds really deep, don't it? It sounds really something deep about to happen. That's what I think. Something really deep get ready to happen.
Consciousness does 3I Atlas have? How is it expressing that as it moves through the solar system? Is this coincidental? Has it been traveling through interstellar space for eons and eons for a reason to intersect with the solar system? Is it just a complete coincidence? Was it maybe sent our way from an advanced intelligence from within our solar system, for example, the Oort cloud or even beyond?
The Oort cloud, or even beyond the Oort cloud. I didn't even know what the Oort cloud was until I started listening to his videos. I said, damn, that we got an Oort cloud. And we don't know if there's life over it because we can't see beyond that. It's crazy.
Keep in mind that we don't know where 3I Atlas was before its first observation. They're going to start looking through prior all-sky surveys before July 1st. They are starting to pick up some of its distances at like 6 astronomical units and more. But the Oort cloud, this hypothetical region that houses all these comets that fly in, that's way, 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 way out beyond the edge of even the Kuiper belt. we're never going to see 3i Atlas and anything from there because we've never actually directly seen something in the Oort cloud with our modern astronomical gear. So maybe it was accelerated quickly from the Oort cloud for some reason. We know that we had the WOW signal in 1977 emerged from effectively the constellation of Sagittarius, which is the center of our Milky Way galaxy. That is where you have.
Did y'all hear that? Y'all know a frequency was sent to us, right? I tried to tell somebody this. They think I'm going crazy. No, something sent us a frequency. Something sent a You know how we send a frequency out into outer space to hopefully somebody get it. Something sent us one. Hold on, let you hear it again. Something sent us one. Don't go tell me there ain't life out there. I know it's life out there.
In the
Look,
Oort cloud with our modern astronomical gear. So maybe it was accelerated quickly from the Oort cloud for some reason. We know that we had the WOW signal in 1977 emerge from effectively the constellation of Sagittarius, which is the center of our Milky Way galaxy. That is where you have the galactic center. Well, 3i Atlas also.
Did you hear me? A frequency was sent to us from the man. Listen, I got one more time. It was sent to us.
Constellation of Sagittarius, which is the center of our Milky Way galaxy. That is where you have the galactic center. Well, 3i Atlas also came in very quickly from the constellation of Sagittarius, which is, again, where the galactic.
Stop playing with me. Now I know I'm not crazy. I know I'm not. I feel good. I know I'm not going crazy no more. Nobody can never tell me I'm going crazy no more. Because I be saying there's something called the Galactic Federation. And it's life out there and they watching us. I've been saying this. This motherfucker was sent to us. I don't care what nobody's saying. I'm getting real. Look at you laughing, celebrate. I'm getting real excited. Y'all heard that. I don't want nobody to ever tell me I'm going crazy again. I had a dream when I was little. I said there's a galactic federation. It's from the center. And we don't have no technology to see that far. But it's life over that motherfucker. There's life in that motherfucker, and there's humans over there. There's humans over there, and different type of entities, and they call it the Galactic Federation. And I remember this guy that used to run hiddenmeanings.com. Let me stop for a minute. It was this guy that ran Hidden. It's called hiddenmeanings.com. It's no longer there. I think they got a Facebook group or YouTube channel called Hidden Meanings. He's a Mason. He was a high ranking Mason. He said there is a galactic federation. He said, and we cannot reach him and we can't see him, but they're watching us. And they don't like what's going on here. And he said in that website that they sent a frequency to us in 1977. And I was a baby then. He said they sent a frequency to us, and then the scientists they did like this. Something communicated with us. Something communicated with us, and I started repeating it to people when I was little. They thought I was fucking crazy. And you're hearing it right now. You're hearing it right now. I'm not crazy. You see it? They sent it to us. It was a frequency that was sent to us. I'm not crazy. I'm not fucking crazy, man. They trying to say I was crazy. They was like, bro, there's no life out there. You crazy. I said, it is life out there. That's where we came from. That's where we came from. When we die, we go back. I said we go back. We're being beamed here. I said that. I said we're being beamed here. You damn right. I said we're being beamed here, and that's where we came from. And they don't want to tell us that because we won't pay no fucking bills. If we really know what's going on, ain't no bills to be paid. What you gonna do? Kill me? Because I'm only going home.
In the Oort cloud with our modern astronomical gear. So maybe it was accelerated quickly from the Oort cloud for some reason. We know that we had the WOW signal in 1977 emerge from effectively the constellation of Sagittarius, which is the center of our Milky Way galaxy. That is where you have the galactic center. Well,
Star Wars talk about it. They already knew this because Star Wars said it in their movie. They talked about how Yoda spent thousands of years in the Dagobah system. That's what they're talking about. He spent thousands of years, but they changed the names. He called it the Dagobah system. And then some people like, forget it. I'm gonna really sound crazy, but I know I'm not crazy because he's actually saying it. I'm not the only one. You said beam me up, Scotty. Well, we can't be beamed up until we're ready to get beamed up. I know there's lots of asteroids in the Oort cloud that comes out. However, it was nothing like this.
Atlas also came in very quickly from the constellation of Sagittarius, which is, again, where the galactic center is. And so we've been emitting all these signals out now for 100 plus years, and that's enough time to reach certain parts of our interstellar neighborhood. And maybe something sent 3i Atlas our way. Could this be a complete coincidence that's flying through our solar system? I personally
There ain't nothing, no coincidence.
Don't believe in coincidence.
Right.
It's very striking that it's coming in exactly along the ecliptic plane.
Stop it. He said it's very strange that it's coming in through the ecliptic plane. That didn't happen by happenstance. It did not. That happened for a reason. I don't give a damn. See, let me tell you something real quick about education. I question fucking everything. I remember when I was in Catholic school, they showed us that picture of Jesus. I said, that ain't Jesus. Who is that? Because that ain't Jesus. Until it wasn't until I got out of school I found out that was Caesar Borgia. That was actually a real dude, actually. You know that depiction of Jesus that we see that looked like one of the members of the Bee Gees? You know the member of the Bee Gees, that 70s group? It looks like one of the members of that. That was actually a real likeness of a guy. His name was Caesar Borgia. He was the Pope of Rome's nephew. When he commissioned Michelangelo to depict a subject of Jesus, Michelangelo was like, I don't have one because they're all over in Africa. I don't have one. He said, well, use him. And he did. So that was actually a real guy. I didn't know that until I got older. This didn't happen by no reason. Hold on, let me hear what he's saying.
Sent 3i Atlas our way. Could this be a complete coincidence that's flying through our solar system? I personally don't believe in coincidence. It's very striking that it's coming in exactly along the ecliptic plane, only a 5-degree difference from that. It's doing something, but it may not be alien ships flying out or an alien invasion this October, but it does display all the features of a comet, though it is quite different than the comets of our solar system. So we have to keep in mind that because it is interstellar, it is going to be quite a bit different. It's also very, very large. I'll keep you up to date with everything that's happening with 3i Atlas, so make sure you subscribe.
Listen, it's not happening by accident. He don't believe that either. This is not. He said it's very strange that it's coming in, and once it passes the perihelion, it's going to be right under the plane. It's going to be right under it. That's not by no fuck. That's not by accident. It's coming right from the center of the galactic center. It is not. That is not by accident. That's where the signal came from. I remember I had said it when I was even back in grammar school. I said we got a signal from aliens. Damn, I got a bug in here. I said we got a signal. She told me I'm lying, and you just heard it. They said it because I had you know where I heard this from? It was one Sunday. I was a kid. I was watching the Science Channel, and they said that it was just passing through. They said that we got a signal. We got a strange signal. Someone sent us a signal from the galactic center. And I heard it. And I remember I going to school and I said this. She said, I'm lying. I'm not lying. He just said it. And I've heard that too, that we did get a signal. And because we send signals out as well. We also send signals out in different parts. We send signals out. But in 1977, one was sent to us. One was sent to us, and that's how they know that there's life somewhere. And did you know this? You know how they depict certain aliens? That's not really the aliens. They making us, that's the Hollywood version of the aliens. That's not really what the aliens look like. See, they're not going to tell you that some of the aliens look like us. They're not going to tell you that. And a friend of mine visited Egypt years ago. And I remember when I was telling him, I said, yo, how was your trip to Egypt? Because when he had got married, him and his wife went the honeymoon, went to Egypt, and they went to another country as well. And I said, so how was the pyramids? He said, bro, it wasn't the pyramids. I said, well, what did you see? He said, you got to go to the Egypt museum. You got to go to the museum. He said when he went in the museum, he almost passed out in shock. I said, well, what did you see? He said, I saw space. I saw aircraft. He said they have aircraft. He said they had one man aircraft. They had multiple aircraft, all in the hieroglyphs. And he was asking the person that was giving him the tour. He said, what's up with the aircraft? He said they had aircraft back then. And some of them left this planet. They had aircraft back then. The Wright brothers plagiarized. And then I said the Wright brothers plagiarized. He said the Wright brothers plagiarized. They plagiarized. They been had aircraft back then. And he said, in fact, they were more technologically advanced back then than we are now. He said it's almost like we're going in reverse. Like something happened throughout history to make us go into reverse. We it's almost like we are there's like a battle going on in this world. It's like a hidden war going on. It's like, humans have to evolve, and we have evolved. We're not Paleolithic humans anymore. We have evolved. The only flashback to the Paleolithic times is at North Sentinel Island. I'm actually going to do a video on that pretty soon later tonight on what happened at North Sentinel Island. North Sentinel Island is in the Bay of Bengal. It's off the coast. Just say it's off the coast of India in the Andaman Islands. Those people out there, they're Paleolithic people. We don't even know their dialect. And they don't even they don't want no interaction with modern man. But they look African. So my question to you is, how did they get there? They've been there. And they don't play. You're right, they don't play. The last person, not the person that just went there this time, there was another person that went a few years ago. They killed him. And his family still can't get his body back because they buried him somewhere in the island. Actually, they buried him somewhere on the beach. They buried him. This one guy just recently went there. He actually went to the island, but he went on the other side of the island where there's no activity, maybe because it's half the size. It's like the size of Manhattan. That's how big it is. He was out there on the island blowing whistles for like an hour, and he collected sand. They didn't come out. And when he took his he had a speedboat. When he was taking his speedboat back, one of the Indian fishermen saw him, and they contacted the authorities, and he got arrested. He's currently in prison right now in India, and he's facing 5 years. Now, my thing was, he's lucky that they didn't kill him. Now, my thing is maybe they were in a different part of the island to where they couldn't get to him right away because he was blowing whistles, and I'm surprised they didn't come out. So my thing is, how many of them are left on that island? I'm not sure, but they've been there for many, many thousands of years on that island. And so he was saying in the Egyptian museum, he said, bro, they had aircraft back then. There was aircraft. They depicted aircraft. One man aircraft, two man aircraft, they depicted it. And he was like, he was blown away. He was like, bro, everything that was invented in history was plagiarized. And did you know that the father of medicine is not Hippocrates? It's Imhotep. Imhotep is the father of modern medicine. So doctors should be taking the Imhocratic oath, not the Hippocratic oath. The Imhocratic oath, but they won't change it. He performed. There's evidence that he had performed brain surgery. even back then. His name is Imhotep. And when they excavated years ago, I don't know if it was in the 70s, I can't remember right now. Um, they found it. And they also said that the Egyptian library, they had a library back then, but the Greeks and Romans stole it and they remixed it and took it for themselves. They took the technology for themselves and pillaged it. But check this out. The level of mathematics, they buried it. They had a knowledge that they were getting ready to get conquered, and they buried the true math. They buried it. The technology and stuff, they buried it, and they can't find it to this day. And they believe they found it, but it's hard to excavate. They've been excavating a site for the past 20 years. I know for a fact because I worked in the environmental science field for over 20 years. And one of my coworkers, she was trying to get on the excavation project. And she couldn't get on it, but they've been excavating for 20 over 20 plus years, trying to uncover that library. They had a library. They read it. They wrote it down and everything. And they hid it from them. So the knowledge that the Greeks and Romans did take, they did take a lot of knowledge and remixed it for themselves. They most certainly did. Um, that's why I always say our history is not just fucking slavery. That was only a couple years. When you talk in terms of humanity time, that was only a couple years, man. There was dynasties way before this. Way before this. They actually took Europe out of the Dark Ages, actually. But I remember I had somebody tell me one time, he was like a 33rd. He was beyond, he said, it's beyond 33rd degrees. But he said he know for a fact there's a galactic federation. He said they won't tell us. And he said they interact with us all the time, but he said they won't tell us because we won't have no more fear. If they did tell us, we won't have no more fear. There would be no more fear. He said if we knew who we really were, then we won't have no more fear. We won't have no more fear. And they got to control like people on this planet, so they're not gonna tell us everything. But he said there's life out there, and it's the galactic. It's like a galactic federation, and they govern all the other planets. And they're not gonna. He said they're not gonna let this planet be destroyed. Never. He said they never gonna let us destroy it. And he said, in fact, throughout history, they already intervened. That's what he said. He said they've already intervened when we tried to. And I believe the last time this country was under a legitimate threat was during the Cuban Missile Crisis or during the Cold War. That was one of the times where this was saying was some people you can hear me now, I think. Let me see. Can you hear me now? Okay. What I was saying was some people have abused their free will. We do have free will. He was just talking about with this comment, consciousness have free will. That's what God has given us. God has given us free will, and some people have abused it, and they're going to pay for it eventually. I'm telling you, once you start learning knowledge itself and learning who you really are, You don't think nobody in this world is above you anymore. You don't. That's why I call myself a cray. That's why, you know, when I say, okay, you could refer to me as a crayon color. I don't see black no more. I see it as funny. Like when you call me that. That's a crayon color. Like once you take off those goggles, you can't put them back on. No, once you put on the truth goggles, you can't take them off. Once you can't take them off. Your life will change. You'll find yourself start quitting your job, all that type of shit. You'll start doing for self, all types of stuff. You cannot take you would never take those goggles off. Did you know? Watch this. Did you know here's a trick? All you got to do is sit for 20 minutes in silence. Even if you sit in the car, all you got to do is sit for 20 minutes and close your eyes and think about something that you want to do, and you're going to get it done. But the thing is, it has to be a feeling. You can't verbalize it. You have to visualize it, because Universal don't understand English. It understands vibrations. You have to feel it. You have to visualize it and feel it. And did you know it start manifesting? It start manifesting. And it don't manifest to how you think it manifests. Like, oh, well, how come you can't manifest $1 billion? No, it don't work that way. You can manifest success. You can manifest it. And success is in the eye of the beholder. Is relative. Success is relative to the eye of the beholder, whatever you think success is. And you can communicate with people telepathically. You can actually think somebody up. It's crazy. And I'm telling you, once you know who you are, like, you start treating people differently. And not that you're superior at all. No, you're still a human being. But you start to take those goggles off and see that, like, the world for what it is. You can still have fun, but you see the world for what it is. That's it. And we all help each other. Once you see that, you'll start to see people help you. You'll start to attract people that help you. You can attract people that help you, because we all need each other for help anyway, through our resources, because you got a certain level of knowledge that some people don't have. And that's what I talk about when people do YouTube and stuff. I was just talking to somebody about YouTube. I said, why don't you do YouTube? Well, it's oversaturated. Yeah, but there's only one you in the world. It's only one you. So your thoughts is unique. Even though you might say you might say things like that other people are saying, but your delivery is different. Why don't you think about it like that? Well, I don't think I can do it. Well, I say, you're not going to do it. You're not going to do it. She's like, what do you mean? I say, because you said you're not going to do it. You're not going to do it. You got to believe that you could do it. And you can literally manifest the motherfucking views. You can do it. You can manifest shit. It might not come out how you want it, but it's going to come out. For sure. It is alien technology, Southern Breeze. It is. And they are black mirrors. Watch this. I had a thought the other day. I was sitting, you know, I believe time travel exists. Do you know you having these YouTube pages pop up of people like riding around in the 1900s? Like walking around, people staring at them. And then you have people like driving through Harlem in the 1970s and stuff. Those are time travelers, I think. Because the people are looking strange at that camera. They looking strange. And I'm like, how are they picking up this footage? Or it could have been people back then that had video cameras that was recording stuff. It could be too. But goddamn, the early 1900s, 1800s, you had people just filming. You may have, I don't know, you may have. But I do know what you're talking about when you talk about the black mirrors. And this is alien technology. I think it is. But they give it to us at a slow pace, and when we're ready for it or whatever. That's what they said. It's almost like they want us to evolve. It's like they want us to eventually evolve to talk to them. I don't think we're ready. We might be ready though. They might think we are. I don't know. Then I was talking to somebody the other day. I was like, "Yeah, man, there's life out there," and they was like, "Nah, I don't think so." I said it was a signal sent to us back in the '70s. They was like, "Nah, you crazy." I had to get off the phone with that person. That's the devil talking. I definitely had to get off. I said, "Go research it. There was a signal sent to us. It was." But I'm gonna tell you something. Even if it is something coming, it ain't nothing to be scared about. Nothing to be scared about. Those are ancestors. There's nothing to be scared about. That's what I believe. Now, some people better be worried, but not everybody. There was somebody. There was a report that came out, and I don't know what to believe. Sometime somebody said this spaceship, this whatever it is, it already sent a signal to us, and it said that we're here to help and do not resist. Resist is like you're wasting your time if you're going to try to resist. You're wasting your time. No, it ain't nothing to be afraid of. But I wish I could find truth to that because I would be clowning right now. I was like, "What you mean? Don't resist?" I wish it was me on that spaceship because I would be doing the most with the powers that be on this planet. I said, "Listen, y'all been trifling for so long. We're coming back." Okay, you don't have to tell your people. You can keep your people in the dark, but we showing up. We're gonna pull up. I said, "Y'all been trifling." Okay, y'all don't allow all this type of stuff throughout history, and we're coming back now. I said because we were only going for a hot second. We were only going, and y'all sitting up here, y'all acting a fool. So yes, I'm coming back. Yes. Oh yes. Can we please keep this a secret and meet? Ain't no secrets no more. Oh no, we gonna pull up. We gonna pull up. Oh yes. And wait till you see this spaceship I got. It's something like you ain't never seen before. It's sexy. Oh yeah. That power y'all think y'all got? Yeah, we about to enlighten your people and let them really know. You couldn't have me directing that spaceship. You know, like Captain Spock, you couldn't have me. I be trolling all the world leaders. I be trolling them. I said, oh yeah, don't worry about it. We pulling up. Oh, don't worry about it. Oh yes, we pull. Oh, your little itty bitty military. Oh, you better just leave them part, okay? Because we got a force field that y'all ain't gonna be able to do nothing. Okay, y'all ain't gonna be. Look, I be sitting there like on my microphone. I said, "Oh, we coming." Okay, we going to chill. We going by the sun real quick to go get some information, but we on our way. Oh yeah, we on our way. You know I got to turn this into a funny session right now, right? I said, "Oh, we on our way. We got to go by perihelion real quick, and get some shit from the sun, but we on our way. Oh, we on our way now, and don't worry about your little itty bitty missiles and all that, because we got a force field that'll just throw it right back at you. So don't even worry about it." Okay, we coming to enlighten motherfuckers. That's how I would say it. Oh yes, oh yes, because we can't let y'all have free. We can't do this no more. Y'all trifling. You said they're past the sun. All right, no, they're not. They ain't reached perihelium yet. Not yet. They're about to though. Southern breeze, and end of October. They're about to reach perihelium. I mean, they're close. They're close to the sun. You're right. They're close now. They're close now, but they haven't reached the closest to the sun yet, which is perihelium. And once they reach perihelion, we're not gonna be able to see it. But I wish it was somebody like me on that. If it was a spaceship, I wish it was somebody like me on it because I'd be talking mad shit. I said, "Oh, listen, you can leave your little itty bitty missiles. Tell Kim and them, Kim and them, we tired of Kim. We going to see Kim first. They gonna be like, well, who's Kim? You know who Kim I'm talking about. We going to see his ass first because his ass is trifling. We going to see him first, and then we gonna pull up. But we going to him first. His fade is fucked up anyway. So we're gonna go ahead and relieve him of his duties. We're gonna take him with us. We're gonna relieve him, And we're gonna trust me, we're gonna take him so far away, he ain't gonna know what nothing look like. That's right. You said how they know the path because they're watching it right now. Um, Rod, they're watching the path right now. But I'm gonna tell you something. If this thing stops, oh, all bets are off, man. I just hope they in troll mode because I'll be trolling these people. I'll be trolling them. I say, yeah, we just gonna take over, man, because you guys, you know, you guys ain't got shit down. You ain't guys got nothing done down here, right? Yeah, that's right, Chantel. Kim and his little friends. Y'all coming with me. You coming with me. Your haircut messed up anyway, so you coming with me. And you point your rockets at us if you want to. We gonna disable them. How about that? We'll disable everything. Yeah, that'll be crazy. But I do know that there's life out there for sure. I know. I can't, like I said, I can't prove it and illustrate it to y'all. But I just kind of showed you where they said that it was a signal sent our way in 1977 in deep space out there in the galactic center. There was a signal sent to us, a pulsar signal. So yeah. So that's what I wanted to say right there. Somebody was like, "Bro, you crazy, man." No, I'm not crazy. It's life out there. I'm not crazy. Just because I say that. It's just that I don't believe what these trifling ass teachers was telling me this whole time. Sitting up here telling me Jesus looked like one of the members of the Bee Gees. And I'm supposed to be happy with that. Okay, I'm supposed to be happy with somebody that looked like one of the members of the Bee Gees. You know what she told me? I said, "Well, damn, the angels white too? Everybody white?" She said, "Yeah." She said, "Angels are white." And I said, "Well, what's up with the black angels? Ain't no black angels." She said, "Oh yeah, there are fallen. They're black." That's what she told me. They're the black ones. She said those are the evil. She said those are the evil ones. She said those are the evil ones. She said white is pure, Max. White is pure. I said, "But I'm not pure." She said, "No." She said because humans are not pure. That's what she said. But she only going off what she know. That's all. I'm not gonna sit up here and talk. She probably not living no more. So I don't want to talk bad about the dead. Yeah, the fallen angels was something she said. You know what that means? Everything in the Bible is an allegory, meaning meanings behind signs and symbols. I used to follow this website called Hidden Meanings. He said the angels are angles. Angles. Angels equal angles of light. That's what he said. Angles of light. He said we're all really light beings, trapped inside of a shell so we can navigate this planet and experience. And then after that, we find another shell to get into after this one dies off. We'll go into another one and then experience life all over again. His name was Bill Donna, Billddonna. Hiddenmeanings.com. You can actually find on YouTube his old videos. You can find them. His website is no longer around. I'm not sure if he's like deceased now or not. I'm not sure. But that was in the early 2000s when I found that channel. When I found that website, hiddenmeanings.com. All type of masonry he was talking about. Um, he was talking about Adam and Eve. Adam is really ATOM. It's the splitting of the atom, how you make life. Because he was talking about how you took one rib and then you split the atom. He's talking about when the atom is split at the time of conception. You said the planet has to be cleaned up. It's ghetto on this planet. I'm just telling you that right now. But whatever it is going to interact with Earth. It's not going to hit Earth, but it should be some type of. It's definitely interacting with the sun right now, and the sun is interacting with it. If it's a comet, it's a sure is a huge one, but we don't know yet if it's a comet. It's starting to form a tail, a cometary tail. But I do think outside of the box when it comes to life because somebody had to think outside of the box for the knowledge we have now, or maybe it was given to us. I think it was given to us. I don't think some of these people that was um, responsible for coming up with this stuff, they didn't come up with this stuff. Somebody gave it to them, or maybe they did. He playing the Ghetto Boys. That's why I was looking at that. He playing that the Ghetto Boys song last year. What do you say? This year Halloween fell on the weekend. Yeah, the Ghetto Boys are trick or treating. But yeah, man, it's very interesting that this thing is it just popped up. It came in from the center. That's how it entered our soul. It came in from the galactic center. That's where it came from, and it's on a perfect path. So it's not operating like a normal comet, but we'll see what it is. We'll definitely see at some point. But when I talk to people, like they look at me like I'm crazy. I said, bro, it really is something in our solar system right now. That's big. It is. Oh yeah, where did it come from, Max? It came from the galactic center. And people looking at me like it came from the galactic center. Yes, it came from the galactic center. Yes. You said it come in like a boss. It came right in. Yeah. It was the mind playing tricks on you song. That's what he was just playing. It's one of them like kidnap me vans. One of them vans. That's what it looked like. Be careful out here, folks. A lot of people are going missing. Um, I was reading the news in Virginia. There's a lot of kids missing in Virginia right now, and you gotta watch yourself out here. That's your ish, that old song, Chantel. Yeah, that's what he was just bumping. That's why I looked. I was like, man, all right. Yeah, that's why I don't say much. I just stay. That's how I've been in life. I just stay quiet. I don't talk to many people because you got to be careful who you talk to because people judge and people be looking at you with their judgment lenses on. And I can tell when people are judging. I could feel it. It's nonverbal. You can feel it. Most communication is nonverbal anyway, and I'm very aware of it. So I just stay quiet. I've been like that my whole life because I'm like observant. I can like I can feel certain things. Not that I'm antisocial because I'm not, but I can tell when people are judging. Like when people start asking about your life, don't answer it. Just lie and shit. I'd lie. When people start asking questions and stuff, like they asking to judge you. That's really what they are. It's very rare that somebody is asking to really see how you doing. So I don't engage. I just lie or something. I'm like I've been living 5 years in Alaska or something, just to throw them off because they know I'm lying. Like if I say that, it's just like when people say, "Well, what do you do? What do you do for a living?" I exist. That's what I tell people now. I'm just existing. Okay. What do you mean by existing? Just what I said. I'm existing. I'm just vibing out, and that's it. You can't tell people your business because they're doing it to judge. That's what they're doing. It's very rare if somebody's want to ask because they just want to know what you're doing just out of not just curiosity, but it's really just out of judgment, really, out of judgment, really. I remember somebody said to me, well, So I forget what they were saying. It's just I just they start judging. They start judging. It's like I don't want to get into it. I don't want to get into it, but people judge, man, and I just rather just not say anything. But then you find like-minded individuals that you can vibe with. I don't get mad at people for judging. It's a human thing. We all judge, but you know what I'm saying? I just don't want to engage. Yeah, so they can compare themselves and so they can talk bad about you on how you're not doing well to their expectations. Let me say something. This is what I say to people. If something happened to me tomorrow, I mean, like you're not gonna get sent up with me. You're not gonna die with me. So that's why I don't say anything. Just like whatever. I learned that a long time ago, man. I had a really, I wouldn't say friend. This is not a friend. Friends don't. Well, people are not perfect. So you know how sometimes you think your friends let you down. Your family and friends will let you down the most. So I don't knock them for that because humans we judge each other. I don't knock them, but those are the people that judge you the most. And you just got to find like-minded individuals or what and whatnot. I stopped doing that. Like we still judge to a certain degree. Sometimes we have to judge just for our safety. Like when we see a bunch of people walking towards us and we have to judge that they don't look good, that's judging for safety. Like we all still judge. Like okay, that looks like trouble coming my way, so I have to move, keep it moving. That's a different type of judging, but we all still judge. But I'm talking about judging somebody for how they live in their life. I don't do that. I had stopped doing that a very, very long time ago because we're all just enjoying this life and getting through it, the best we can. But people, I can, people have spirits on them. You can feel when somebody's judging. You can feel that judgmental spirit. You can feel it. They don't have to verbalize it. You can feel it. And I just stay away from them.
Hello.
Um, yeah, you can feel it. You said, I hope they don't just pass. Well, if it's a comet, it is passing through the universe. It's not staying. It's going right through. But it's funny. Like I had said that about the judgment. Some people say, well, how can you do content? Because people are judging you every day. I don't mean I got to read the comments. You know what I'm saying? I put this out. I put content out for a reason. I like to interact with people and stuff like that, and share stuff that I think is should be shared, just like any other content creator. But I've been doing this for so long it don't bother me. I'm past the camera shyness. I mean, well, the shyness of making content. I'm past it. I've been doing it for so long. It's like a part of life. All right, you trolling. I had to hide you, man. You trolling. You always come in and say, "Do we got breaking news?" And then you said, "Max, do we got break?" You trolling me, man. Yeah, the breaking news is you got blocked. That's the breaking news. You do it every time. I say if he come up here and he talk about breaking news again, I'm gonna block you. I say T Breeze, you seen him do it before. He always come and say breaking news. I say if he do it, I did like this. I mean, I saw him when I ignored it the first time. Y'all saw me. He said, "Break. Is there any breaking news?" I said, "Here you come with this breaking news." I closed my eyes. I said to myself, he said, if he write it one more time, he getting blocked. If he write it one more time. And he did it. See, he knew I ignored him the first time. So he's like, damn, is any breaking news in here? Block. Block. He might get unblocked. You know, it just depends on how I feel. But he does it. He's been doing it for a year now, a whole year, and I've been ignoring it. That's hilarious. He said, "Is there any breaking news in here?" No, Carlton. There's no breaking news, man. I'll unblock you later, Carlton. It was just a reaction, Carlton. I said, "Here you go, this breaking news block." Yeah, matter of fact, Carlton, there is breaking news. There's a big comet-looking object in our galaxy it's really big and it's passing through. So yes, it's breaking news. Is there any breaking news? What happened to Lil Woody, y'all? He had a motorcycle accident. Did y'all hear about that? If you guys don't know who Little Woody is, we followed the trial, the RICO trial of YSL, and he was one of the people that testified. He had a motorcycle accident. He wasn't wearing no helmet. He lucky to be alive. He wasn't wearing no helmet. Oh, they go Umar Snow Bunny. That's hilarious. The name is Umar Snow Bunny. Oh, he was just sitting on his bike and someone hit him. That could have been by act. That could have been intentional. I didn't know that. I thought he had a motorcycle. I didn't know that. Well, he did technically, but I didn't know he was just sitting there and somebody hit him. You know, I'm automatically thinking someone did it. Someone purposely did it. You say he's exposing a lot of stuff. Somebody may have purposely did it. That's interesting. I didn't know that. Damn, I didn't know that. Interesting. I have to look more into that. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna get off here, and I'll talk to you guys a little later. I might come back a little later. You said they were outside and people were playing music, driving cars, like a hood show. Oh, I should check his 4 hour live. He was on live when he got hit. He was on live. I mean, tell me what's going on. He was on live. What live should I check out? Oh, him exposing Young Thug. Yeah, that might have been a hit on him. It might have been. It might have been a hit. I didn't realize he was just sitting on the bike and got hit. Because he didn't have a helmet on, so maybe he was just, yeah. Yeah, I saw the video of him laid out on the ground, unconscious. Oh, his last live, it was 4 hours. Yeah, and he just laying there. Yeah, that could have been done on purpose. Yeah, Woody Chantel. They said he was just sitting on his bike and somebody hit him. He's all right though. He in the hospital. He recorded a video. Somebody recorded a video of him in the hospital, and he said he's lucky to be alive. Yeah, he's alive. Oh, he went live after getting out of the hospital. Yeah, he's out. Yeah, he need to be careful because that could have been, I don't know. You said, Chantel, you so fine. I will leave white women and pork alone. Chantel, these people crazy. Yeah, they need to be watching their back. Yeah. Yeah, Snow Bunny. That's Umar Snow Bunny. He said he'll leave pork alone, Chantel. That's crazy. He said you so fine, he'll leave white women and pork alone. Damn, that's you fine, Chantel. You fine. He said he gonna leave pork alone. I don't eat pork, but that means he like he's zooming in on you, Chantel. He's zooming in. He's screenshotting it and zooming in on your picture. Yo, let me find out he don't screenshot the chat and zoomed in on the picture. Oh my God, Umar Snow Bunny is out of control. He said no more ribs or pulled pork. That's fine right there. He singled you out, Chantel. He's like, wait a minute. You said that Snow Bunny song hit hard though. I know. Umar, that lady he was dating, or I don't know if you call it dating, she airing out all his business on Instagram. And he talking about sending the netters and the orishas at somebody. So you think you're gonna do this to me? I'm gonna send the netters and the orishas and the oguns at you. I'm like, damn. He thinking about putting like a spell on somebody or something. Umar going, man. He said he gonna send the netters and the orishas at her. Damn. And she said he has now lost his mind. Yeah, he still have it going on, Stevie B. Yeah, he putting that work. He said I'm sending the netters at you and the orishas. That ain't good. I don't know nothing about it, but that don't sound good. If somebody put a spell on you like that. You said he been tweaking, fam. I had stopped following Umar for a minute. How is he tweaking now? What is he doing now? Yo, I remember this was hilarious. He went into the liquor store. I mean the store to buy something, a drink, orange juice. And the guy was like, you ain't getting no rum today? Yo, he said something like that. No rum for you today? He said, no, brother. I only get that stuff to pour libations to the ancestors. That person, that's all you get? No rum today, man? He said, no, I only get the libations to pour to the ancestors. Like, why would you pour liquor to the ancestors? Wouldn't you think you just pour water? Why would you? I don't know if he's a smoker. Like, smoking what? What is he smoking? Smoking what, A. Will? What's up, Jen J? Smoking what, A. Will? Like, what is he smoking? Don't tell me he a tweaker. A tweaker? Come on, man. Not Dr. Umar, yo. Not a tweaker. A tweaker? You think he tweaking? But I know what that guy in the store said though. He was because he went in there to get some orange juice. For real. He said when he went in there to get some orange juice, the guy was like, "No rum today. You ain't getting no rum today, man." Like that's what he always get. He was like, "Oh no, 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 I'm just getting this." He said, "I only get libations poured to the ancestors." But my thing is, why would you pour liquor to the ancestors? We used to do that back in the day. We used to crack open a 40. We'll pour some out for the homies that ain't here no more. We used to always like pour some on the ground. Y'all ever do that? Before you drink, let me pour some out. We used to always do that. Oh, rum, cigars, and food. Damn. Y'all think he a tweaker? But she said he losing his mind. Yo, Lennon be going off, yo. Lennon be like, he probably live right now. Lennon be going off, man. He got receipts on top of it. He got the whole history on Umar Johnson. He got all the receipts. Anything you looking for, you can email him. He got it. Yeah, he got it. Like everything. He got stuff that I don't even, damn, I'm like, damn, I remember him saying that. That's crazy. Yeah, he got receipts, man. You said Lennon go mad hard on him. Yo, bro. The guy that offered to pay his debt for the building. No, I didn't see that. Why would somebody offer to pay his debt for the building? What did he want to do with the building? Oh, for one building. What did he want to do with it though? Like what is his plans for one of the buildings? Umar is in a position right now where he can't trust nobody. You know, well, send it to me on IG. Thank you. You know why? Because people, he really can't. He really can't trust nobody. Just like the lady is like airing out his dirty laundry and stuff. I don't agree with that. Like, okay, you guys not together no more. Um, you guys had a falling out. Like, why you gotta tell the dirty laundry? That's why you all had a falling out. Just let bygone. But see, he got mad because she was on Lennon's show. I don't agree with that. Like, if y'all had a relationship of some sort, why do you got to go to the ops after that? That means she wasn't right either, and that's probably why he got mad. Like, I'm gonna be a little upset if somebody I dated went on somebody's show that went on somebody's show and started telling my business and all that. I would be a little upset about that. Man, so what? I wonder what he. Let me see. I want to know why he wanted to buy the buildings though. Like, what is his plans to do with it? The comment section is turned off. Hey Max, the video you just put out asking about whether. Oh shoot, hold on. Damn, why they turn my? I didn't turn my comment section off. Why my comment section turned off? Yup, it is turned off. Ain't that something? I don't remember doing that. Yeah, I did turn it off. Damn. I didn't mean to do that. Thanks for telling me the comment section. I didn't mean to turn it off. I'm glad I saw that. It never fails. Oh, thank you. I got it now. His name is Marquette Devon Burton. Is buying FDMG from Umar Johnson.
To acquire all or part of the FDMG Academy. And this is something that I encourage you all to share with Dr. Umar, and I'll tell you why.
No.
My understanding right now, and I'll reference a video.
I already know who it is. Nah, yo. Umar being watched. I already know who that is. Umar being watched. Umar is definitely being watched. Umar is definitely being. I think the government about to get in his business. The government about to get in his business now. For sure. The government is definitely about to get in his business. No spaceship half. I didn't say the spaceship was half the size of the sun. I said the coma of the object is half the size of the sun. I said the coma. Here's the object. There's dust and plasma around it. It makes a coma. That's half the size of the sun. Hey, Will, I can't say what I want to say on here, but Umar, hey, he has to be concerned now. I would have no contact with nobody trying to buy that building. None. As soon as I saw who it was, he in trouble. He in trouble. For sure. For sure. I already called it. A lot what these people are saying now, I've been said it a long time ago, but you don't see the videos no more because I took them all down. I've been said all this. I said what's gonna happen is they're gonna try to get him either on misappropriation of funds or tax evasion. You said who is Umar pissing off? Because I had said a long time ago when right now, just for him, getting money out of the school and stuff, that's fine. But I said once he get a little bit more popular, right, and start going viral a lot more and more, he gonna bring a lot more attention to himself. And his rhetoric that he's talking about, that's bringing a lot of attention to him. And it's gonna be like tax evasion. I even believe the females could have been sent to him. Because it's strange how somebody that used to deal with him went to Lennon. That's strange. I'm gonna tell you something right now. Nobody that I ever dated would go to Lennon Honor and talk about me. Not one. Not one. I don't date women like that. Not one. Even if we had a falling out, not one. That's how I know something wrong. Like, why did she go to him? Like, why did she go to him? Like, why did you have to go online to say what happened to you? Because Umar wasn't talking about her. So why would you go to Lennon and start telling his business? That means it was planned. That's what I think. So Umar has to be careful. I also said if he's going to get in trouble, it's going to be like Nature Boy. It's either going to be over money or it's going to be over a woman. They're going to send one to him. That's how they took Nature Boy out. Somebody put that girl up to lie on Nature Boy for sure. Somebody put that, and I can't prove it, but I know that's how I feel, and I don't care about telling y'all how I feel. Somebody put her up to that. They wanted to extract him out of society, and they did it. And did you know that Umar Johnson, Nature Boy, they all come from the same source? Did y'all know that? See, I see the stuff I can tell you right now, I've been saying it, but I took my videos down. No, he was extracted, Chantel. Nature Boy got extracted. The same people that was responsible for Nature Boy was responsible for Umar. Same people. A lot of people don't know that because I took my videos down. There's another guy that used to clown Umar Johnson. He killed somebody and mysteriously got out of jail, and now he's trying to control Black Thought. And he killed somebody. But y'all don't know that because I took the videos down. Kill somebody in first degree. Kill somebody. Back in the 90s. And now people are listening to him and regurgitating stuff. He's an agent. Did you know that they use people from the penitentiary system? And let me tell you all what I do suspect about Nature Boy. I do suspect that he is going to get out one day. And if he do not interact with him. That means he's what you call a he's like not an operative. He's an asset. Did you know that they spend about $1 billion several hundreds of millions of dollars a year to pay informants? Y'all know that? There's plants out here, and they usually get them from jail. Did you know young Pharaoh been in jail before? They all got something in common. There was a lady, I don't have the video on YouTube anymore. There was a lady that came on and said that Umar and her was in the same program, but he went rogue. And she said they had a mission to do. They had to go out into the community and spread rhetoric. They all had a job to do, but he went rogue. You would never see it again. I don't think Lennon has it. Lennon don't even have it because she came on my platform and said it. And I took it down. Because nobody in the Philadelphia area remember him growing up there. Not one. And I also was the one that said that Brother Polite is not even from this country. I also was the one that had exposed Jay Morrison. But you don't see that on the video no more because nobody listens to me. But now everybody is talking about Umar like this is new information. I've been said it. I've been said who sent you. Been said it. But now I don't dislike Umar. I think it's comedy at this point. But I realized that people, you got to have a certain amount of views for people to really want to take what you say as the gospel. Because some people, if you don't have a lot of views, they don't believe what you say. But I've been saying this about him. I've been saying that he's going to get extracted. I've been said that Nature Boy is going to get extracted. And I told him, I said when Nature Boy, a lot of y'all don't remember this, that Nature Boy was on my platform. Y'all don't remember that because it's not on YouTube anymore. He used to come on my platform in the when I used to have a panel. And this was right after Hawaii. I told him, I said, you need to get a lawyer because they're coming for you now. And he's like, nah. He said, bad publicity is better than none at all. And I told him, you need to get a lawyer on retainer. He said, nah, I'm good. And then I had made a video. I said he's going to get extracted, and a woman is going to do it. He's going to get extracted. The reason why nobody asked me why did I say that he got extracted. Nobody's asking me that because he's an asset. I just said this, and how I can show you some videos to where there's a person that works for the University of Virginia. It's a project they're working on. That's where he came from. He regurgitate that man's information. What Nature Boy did, it was a human project. That's what he was doing. And they pulled him out. And did you know Medea, is she listening? She'll tell you. At the trial, she said there was some strange people sitting in the courtroom that he kept looking at. Remember when they asked him were he gonna take the deal or not? And he kept looking back at these people. He was looking at some people in there. He was looking at some people in there. And they just looked at him stone faced. There was people behind Nature Boy that y'all didn't see. And also, let me explain this. Young Pharaoh went rogue. You remember when they gave they gave Young Pharaoh his platform. They gave it to him. And what happened was, remember he was supposed to go on the RNC convention? Remember that? But then they started finding out he said all this stuff about the Jays. And then they took his audience away. Now all of a sudden, when Young Pharaoh go live, you don't see that many people in there from when before when they gave him his audience, because his audience was artificial. The real people that you see in his platform, those are the real people. But when people go live and they have a lot of people, some of those numbers are artificial. And they realize after doing studies that when the person that got the most views and all that, people tend to go with them. They tend to go with the people that's most popular. But when people come along and they already have an audience, they're agents, man. It fell off to you, Chantel. Him and Nature Boy came out at the same time through Sonetta. A lot of these people have something in common. They've been in jail before and they were in the military. That was a human experiment that you see what was happening with Nature Boy. But he went rogue and he started like doing some crazy stuff and they extracted him. When I say extraction, I'm not saying that he didn't do something to get extracted. What I'm saying is they could send somebody his way and come up with something and then they extract you. They can either extract you a couple of ways. The extreme way is death. The other way is just sending you to jail until you can't get out. You ain't gonna never get out. Umar, she said he went rogue. The lady said that they were part of the same mission and program, and they were supposed to go out into the community and spread the message. But she said he went rogue, and she haven't talked to him anymore, and he doing his own thing. And then he started requesting for money for St. Paul's College. Okay, and she said he messed around and got the money, and then from there, here he is. But Umar was sent. But he might have went rogue, and if that's true and he don't got out of line, eventually he'll get extracted. It'll be by way of allegations from a woman, or it'll be tax evasion. It did make sense to you because look how he was acting. Chantel, that light sentence in Georgia, it calls for it. For that crime, it calls for it in Georgia. Yeah. Georgia don't play. And they also don't play when it comes to revenge P. You know why? Because so many people have taken their lives over revenge P. So what they were one of the states, Virginia's like that too. They come down hard on revenge P because so many people. You remember that one kid that they exposed him talking to a man in school, and then he took his life over that. Yeah, they real serious about that. So he was in the wrong state. And he has access to no money. He has access to nothing. They took all his resources away, or the people that was helping him. And isn't it strange to you that somebody in his crew that had a lot of information is no longer living? Isn't that strange to you? And one of the people that people accused of doing the killing, he was in Carbonation when they were Melanation from Canada. Nobody's talking about it though. That's why I left that Umar commentary alone, and I left Nature Boy commentary alone because it hurt my channel, because I figured out who they were. I took all that commentary down. I don't talk about it no more. It's not, I don't dislike Umar, but I know that everything about him just breeds agent. Or the agents could be after his ass, one or the other. But I don't talk about it no more, man. I let other people do it. And it's not by accident that one man has so many receipts on him. He could be an operative for having no normal person is going to keep that many receipts on one person. And did you know there was one woman in the Nature Boy sector that kept all the receipts on him? Do you see the correlation? That's not by accident. It's not normal to spend your life collecting receipts on somebody. So that person is the gatherer, and then they'll take that, and that's it. They'll take them down. That's what happened with Nature Boy. What's her name that runs the T? She had all receipts on Nature Boy, everything. That's not by accident. No normal person is doing that. I can't waste my life. It's beautiful out here for me to be on live and record everybody live all day. That's not normal. I have the ability to see this shit. That's why I left it alone. Damn, I'm going dark. I'm going dark, and I can feel the people in here. I'm going dark, yo. But just know I ain't talking about this no more. And did you know in the Umar sector, they even brought people to attack me? That's why I really left it alone. They really did. Lennon used to do conspiracy videos back in the days. Yeah, but listen, I ain't gonna lie to you. It's a hustle though. It's a good hustle talking about Umar because he built up an audience. So I'm not knocking his hustle. I'm not knocking his hustle. Anytime you can get some scratch off talking about that, man, I ain't knocking nobody hustle now. Hey, Barry's, yes, I didn't say the object was half the size of the sun. I said the coma is half the size of the sun. You got to go research what a coma is around an object. It's plasma and dust and gases that built up around the object is half the size of the sun. I didn't say the object was half the size of the sun. I said the coma, C-O-M-A, the bubble around it is half the size of the sun. Maybe that's how I titled it. Maybe I should title it different. That's what you're thinking about. No, it's the coma that's half the size of the sun. My bad. But I'm telling you, man, it's this strange stuff around Umar and Nature Boy. I stopped talking about both of them. But Nature Boy got himself extracted. It's like they buried him, dude. It's like they buried him alive. It's like they buried him alive. Oh, thank you, Chantel. It's like they buried him alive, man. But the thing is, when they played the interrogation video, he said, well, yes. She said yes. She said no, but nah. That's when the interrogation is over. Once you said that, the interrogation over. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, okay, but yeah, man, it's crazy, man. It's crazy about the storylines. That's why I left those storylines alone, man. But I said when Umar get a little bit more popular and people start talking about him, it's a matter of time. Yeah, he knew it was coming. He even said it. Or he could have known he did something wrong, T. You know how if you know you did something wrong, it's a matter of time before they come get you. But we already know that subject with no means no. No means no. It don't mean maybe. A no is a no. It doesn't mean maybe. I had to say that twice. Maybe say it a third time. No means no. It don't mean maybe. And that could be with your girlfriend for years, your wife. No means no. And then when they started playing the videos of him saying the videos of him in court, I knew it was a matter of time. It was crazy. That was a crazy case we followed. He even sounds different. When he had went live, he was talking about his stint in jail. Like to keep his mind stable, he thinks he's gonna get out. It's a possibility that he gonna get out. You have to keep that hope though to get out. But when they sentence you to life without the possibility of parole plus 20, 25, it's like, damn, you're not getting out. But to preserve your mind for you not going crazy, you gotta be thinking in your mind that I'm gonna get out. But we all watched it though. We watched the downfall. It was crazy. And it's not anybody's fault. Even if people kept receipts on them, it's not their fault. You have to move a certain way, you know, when for those receipts not to matter. You shouldn't do something for somebody to keep receipts on you. That's what I'm saying. Even I have to be careful on what I say on this platform. You can't just talk reckless on here. You cannot. It will come back to haunt you. Not that I'm doing anything anyway, but I'm just saying. If I was, you cannot, especially if you get a lot of traction. I had somebody tell me that they're not under the auspices of the United States, so they don't have to pay taxes. That's what they told me. I said, all right, well, good luck. Meaning that they're not under this jurisdiction. They started talking about subject matter jurisdiction to me. And so I'm like, hey, man, they were telling me, they said that to me, you don't have to pay taxes. Where I said, no, I didn't know that. I've been paying taxes all my life. I didn't know I didn't have to pay taxes. They said, yeah, you don't have to pay taxes. I was like, all right, well, you don't have to pay taxes. I have to pay taxes. I got to file every year. You get some money in, you got to pay taxes on it. He said, no, you don't have to pay taxes. I was like, all right, well, you let me know how it works out for you. Yeah, they got him on tax evasion. I think that's what they got him on. Al Capone. I think it was tax evasion, but Wesley Snipes had to do a stint too. Yeah, I remember that. It's crazy, man. I don't need this anymore. Take this off. Yeah, man, it's crazy. I just let people talk, man. Like, hey, man, if you don't gotta pay taxes, then you don't have to pay. But I do. Man, it certainly is a nice day out today. I looked up at the sun, thinking about thinking about what's approaching it. Shit, if I'm looking at the sun, I need to put shades on. Mess around, I can't. At my age, I can't be doing that. Mess around and everything look dark. Yeah, that whole thing with Umar, man, it was crazy for sure. For sure it was, man. Oh, make sure they don't come back and clone, man. No, man, I'm be nope. I'm about to get off anyway. It's nice out here though. Somebody out there grilling. They got something on the grill and all that. But yeah, this man has every receipt on Umar Johnson that you can possibly have. Everything is there. All the receipts are there. Everything that he's ever said, he has it. Everything. Everything. Remember, Umar came out and said he never requested money from nobody. And then there's a video of him asking for donations. Oh, when he was in Japan in that jacuzzi. Man, he was in Japan in that jacuzzi. He had the time of his life. That's when he was really doing good. When he was in Japan. I know he had the time of his life. Just to think about it, he raised all that money, through the GoFundMe or whatever. Just imagine raising all that money, and all that money went into your bank account. You gonna tell me he didn't take some of that money to enjoy himself? Come on, man. Yes, he did. He enjoyed himself. Yes, he did. He had all type of polo shirts on. You know, he was doing the thing, man. He went to Japan. I know what he went over there for. He was in that jacuzzi. Looked like he was in a bathhouse. Man, I think it's in danger of getting taken away, Ryan, if he don't pay up. He sure did, man. He collected a lot of money. And you know what I said? This man hit a lick. He did. He hit a good lick. He collected over, I think at that time it was over $600,000 or something. I forget how much did he raise on GoFundMe? Do you remember? I think it was one of the women's spots, Ryan. I remember, I got another page. You said he could raise a good 4 million at least. Man, that is a lick. He hit a lick off the people. I ain't gonna lie to you. I can't even hate on him. I mean, I didn't donate, but damn. Let me raise some money. Can y'all donate to my GoFundMe for me to travel? I'm gonna put a video together, brothers and sisters. I want to bring you more content, brothers and sisters, but it involves me traveling. And traveling involves money. And I want to give you this content. I want to give you exclusive content that you've never seen before. I need to raise $300,000, brothers and sisters. Yeah, oh, what time the game come on, Contextual? You hit my cash app. My cash app is $MaxVWorld75. MAX, the letter V is in Victor, World 75. Hit the cash app. Oh, 8 p.m. I'm about to go watch it. I'm about to go watch it, Contextual. Thanks for because I want to see what Bill doing. Him and his son. Him and his son is coaching. And you know the word is they want Coach Saban to come back in the NFL, coach the NFL, the Cleveland Browns next year if they get Arch Manning. You said just think you hit $500,000, man. Ryan, I would thank the people. I'm not gonna lie to the people. I said I want it's for traveling, and yes, I got to pay taxes on it. Yes. So guys, it's not really $500,000 because I got to pay taxes on it. So after I pay the taxes, how much is that if I collect $500,000? You said they talked down about Tommy Sotomayor doing it, but eventually produced a movie about 250. I'll take that. And this is for the people. Okay, Ryan, so to me to give you exclusive content. Okay? I'm going to give you exclusive content. I'm going to be traveling all over the place. I'm going to go to Japan. Or really, I want to go to Japan. There's a few places I want to go. But hit the cash app. That's how he used to do it. Hit the cash app, brothers and sisters. I remember this one woman, he said, damn, somebody donated $10 to me. He said, next time, try to give me 20. He said, but I know that's all you got, so I'll take that. He did say that before. He said, hit the bathhouses. If that's what y'all want me to do, that'll be exclusive content. Hit the bathhouses. That'll be crazy. Yeah, he said that. He said, oh, she gave me 20. Damn. He said 10. Damn. He said, next time, give me 20. But you know the crazy thing is, he don't got no skin in the game because this is all the money that he raised. It didn't come out of his pocket when he purchased that property. That came from the people. Yep, you're not in a swimsuit. You're in a birthday suit. But I can, how they did give you the history of the place. Guys, we're here at such and such. And it'll be like what's that movie with Chris Tucker and that guy? I forget that movie series. Him and Jackie Chan, I forget. I'm like, guys, this is the history of this place. Yeah, Rush Hour. I'm like, I just want to give you guys a historical tour of this place. Y'all gonna be like, Max, stop playing. Where are you at? I'm about to do a story on my Max Reacts channel tonight. I'm making a video now. This guy lost $85,000 over there. This woman took him for $85,000. It's sad. I can't say his name because it's sad. He is hella depressed because he wanted to go in business with her, right? Because over in Thailand, you can't go in business just by yourself. You have to have someone go in business with you. And you can't purchase property by yourself. You have to, you can purchase a condo by yourself, but not land. You have to go in with a local. So he met this woman and he thought she loved him and different things like that. They were staying in Bangkok, and she told him, I have to go home. She said she had to go home for a week to check on a sick relative. He didn't never see her again, and she wiped his account clean because he opened a bank account over there with her name on it. Wiped his account clean. $85,000. Did you know that with expats and people living over there, they have a high suicide rate? This is some of the stuff I'm going to talk about. $85,000. $85,000, and he looked like he was the best definition of depressed. You can see it all over his face, man. I felt so bad, man. And I don't know, and guys be getting taken left and right over there. He was living over in Thailand. And she said she had to go back home to Isan. You know, she had to go back to Isan to check on a sick relative. And he ain't seen her since. And took all that money out the bank account. And he went to the authorities about it. They ain't doing nothing about it. Because over there, you don't have a voice. They don't care what you got to say. Yes, it's very high. In Thailand, it's very high. This is some of the stuff that they don't talk about. Now, here's the thing, Ryan. When I do talk about it, I can't talk about that. I can't. But I can talk about that guy getting taken for, though. He's an older gentleman, too. He's about in his 70s. And he met her, and she played the long game with him. You know, made him feel like, you know, he's the only man exist in the world. And she loved him up, and she told him, she said, listen, I just want a partner, you know, and loved him up. And next thing you know, he started planning a future with her. You know, he's thinking about marriage, and she made him feel young again. And she took him for all that money. And there's another guy. Yeah, it's crazy. There's some stories over there that's crazy. Yeah, I wouldn't be thinking about trying to start no business either. We're messing with the wrong people. But that's what happened. Wiped him clean, man. And he don't know where to look. He don't know where to find her. Even if he do find her, he ain't getting the money back. It's crazy, man. And the thing is, their tourism is going down. So this is what I want to say to some of the locals. You can't keep doing this because you need them tourism dollars to stay afloat. But the tourism, people are leaving. That's what they're not talking about. Their tourism, the money is going down now. And people are leaving. They're complaining about it and they're leaving. Because you don't have a voice over there. You don't. You don't have a voice. They just want your money. That's it. Shut up. That's it. And it shouldn't be that way because now the tourism going down. I knew that was going to happen eventually. These Gen Zers, they are taking these men to the cleaners. But they've been taking them to the cleaners. It's just a revolving thing. It's been happening for years. But the stories is not being talked about that much. But people are starting to talk about it now. That you got social media and stuff like that. But guys, when I tell you, man, $85,000. She wiped him clean. She should be ashamed of herself. But they don't. They don't care. It's survival over there. They don't care. She saw him as a lick. Yeah, tourism in Japan is high. You think they know each other? Well, I don't think so. I think Umar. I don't know. I don't really think too much into it no more. I went on to other stuff, but it's when I start telling this story, it's gonna be sad too, man. And there's another story of a guy. He married this woman. This was sad. This is his wife, and she got really sick, and she got really bad off sick, and she was hiding her illness from him because she was positive, and she wasn't taking her medicine, and she ended up dying over it. And then he had to run through. He had to do all type of tests to see if he had it. These are some of the stories over, and it's an older guy too, but he said he didn't have it, but he left the country after that. There's a lot of horror stories over there. Because I know a friend of a friend, his loved one lives over there. He was in the military. He lives over there. Because his money, his military benefits go a long way over there. So he started telling us the stories. And he said, yeah, you need to tell these stories, man, because he said these guys over there, man, it's a lot of stories like that where people, he said, because you could save somebody. Because if I tell a story, you wouldn't repeat it, you know what I'm saying? Because you would be cautious trying to go into business with people over there, especially if you met a woman and she wants you to go in business, and if it goes sour, she can take all your money and they not gonna do nothing about it. And see, stories like that gives them a black eye. That's why people go travel elsewhere. But yeah, the tourism went down. You see, you got me on the dub, A Will. That's hilarious. So I got you on the dub. But yeah, man, these stories, it's very, it's crazy. Yo, I'm a little weary about these ice cream trucks now, because it's a story out in Virginia that when these ice cream trucks go by, people go missing. But I don't know if that's a tall tale they're saying, but I know people were discussing it out in Virginia. So every time I see these like ice cream trucks, I get a little weary when I see them. And here's one right now, and I be like looking at them to see if it's if they strange or not. It's loud too. Y'all hear it? That's a legit one though. You said Arch looked trash against Ohio for real, man. I thought he was gonna come out here and do something, man. Like, everybody been talking about the great Arch Manning. Man, he went in that game and stunk up the joint, man. Either that or just Ohio State is just really good. Yeah, Arch didn't look good, man. Arch looked crazy out there. I was like, damn, somebody need to put somebody else in the game because Arch don't know what he doing. I'm thinking I was gonna see something, man. Arch, you know what I'm saying? I had my popcorn. I said, guys, I'm about to watch Arch. You know what I'm saying? And damn, I watched something, all right. I'm thinking Arch was gonna come out here and show us that he gonna be the #1 draft pick. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Arch on the stacked team. No, Arch ain't going no fifth round. He going first round. You know how they compare Arch and his family? They said the royalty, and then they showed Dion and his boys. They're spoiled, spoiled and shit. But they say Arch is of royalty. Yeah, I didn't know Caleb Williams thinking up to join the NFL. I know people saying, man, they need a quarterback in Chicago. I was like, really? I thought Caleb was supposed to be crazy out there. I'm like, damn, Caleb. You know what I'm saying? The Heisman Trophy winner. That's what happens sometimes you get to the NFL and it don't pan out because NFL is hard. It's the competition is stiff, man. It ain't nothing but competition. I don't know what I was expecting from Arch. I had my popcorn. I said, I'm about to watch this. They said, the people said, what you watch? I'm like, Arch, man. It's the next best thing here. You said Peyton Manning wasn't good, wasn't a good NFL quarterback until about year 4 or 5. But yeah, but when he came along, Peyton was good, man. When he got it together, he started calling all them audibles. Yo, Eli did his thing with the Giants. He had New England's number. That's all I could say. I think Eli won 2 championships, didn't he? Did he win 1 or 2? I think he got 2 rings. Yeah, it's totally different in the NFL, man. The NFL is the real deal. And yeah, Eli got 2. And here's the thing about Eli. I didn't realize he was that tall. He about 6'3", 6'4". And he had an arm on him too. Damn sure did. Yeah, he beat Brady twice, man. With Randy Moss. Eli wasn't scared, yo. In the big games, Eli wasn't scared, yo. He was just even kill. And he could see the defense really well. Eli had good vision. If you were open, he was going to find you. It wasn't a situation where he missed the open man. It was very rare. He had really good vision. He's what you call underrated. But he got 2 championships out the deal. Tell you that much. But we'll see what Arch do. We'll see. We'll give him a couple more games. That kid at Michigan looked good. That freshman, Bryce Underwood. He got a nice release. He got a nice throw on him. Yeah, he played that, but when he showed up in the great and when it counted though, that's when he showed up in the playoffs. Yes, he did. He took it to another level. I never forget that game. They call it Deflate Gate. The referee. What happened was somebody intercepted the ball or something, or picked up the ball. They said, "Wait a minute, this ball don't feel right. This ball don't feel right, man. I'm gripping this ball too much. It ain't." They took the air out of the ball. They took some of the air out, and then the other team started analyzing it. They was like, "Wait a minute, this don't feel right. This don't feel right, man." And my question is, how many times they done that? Yep, deflate gate. And they gonna say they didn't deflate the balls, like it didn't happen. I'm about to go watch Bill Belichick at North Carolina and see what he's doing tonight. He probably gonna have them the boys looking good for sure. He a good coach though. He was a coach under Bill Parcells. Yep, during the New York Giants reign. You know, with Phil Simms and them. Bill Belichick was on the squad as a coach. Craziness, man. Deflategate. I remember that. But anyway, guys, let me get out of here. I'm about to go watch that North Carolina game. See what that's about. Because, man, I was watching Arch, man. I was disappointed. I don't know what I was expecting from Arch. I was expecting #1 draft pick. You know what I'm saying? I had already hyped him up. I said, guys, he about to be a #1 draft pick out this piece. They said, were he the truth? I said, he got to be the truth, man. I said, he got to be the truth, man. Arch Manning. Arch. They said he getting a start now. Quinn Ewers is not there no more. He's the #1. I said he the number. I said it. I said he the #1 quarterback in college football. Man, was I let down. He act like he couldn't play out there. He act like he didn't know how to play quarterback. It was crazy, messing up the throws, everything. It was crazy. I'm glad I didn't bet on that game. I would have been sore today. I would have been a sore soul if I had bet on that game, yo. I was about to bet on Colorado, but I said, let me hold off, yo. Let me just see how they play the first game. Because, see, they just got to work out the kinks. Once they work out the kinks, they're going to be good. Sometimes you just got to work out the kinks. Maybe that's what Arch got to do. Go back to the drawing board, get the nerves out, the jitters, and you'll be straight. But damn. Glad I ain't bet on it, Ryan. Because if I had bet on it, I'd have been, man. If I had to bet on both them games, man. You said, yo, Umar live on Linux. I'm about to go. Oh, Lennon live now? I'm about to go check it out. Yeah, Wyoming. They play Delaware. Don't they? What do they play next? Wyoming or Delaware? Then they play Delaware. That'll be easy. That'll be easy right there. You know, to get their steez back, get their mojo back, to get ready for the rest of the season. Delaware, yeah. But damn, what if Delaware give them a game, yo? If Delaware take them to the wire, I don't know what to tell you. They just gonna have to get it together. Or Juju gonna go in. They might play the freshman, because he ready. He a true freshman. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. So we'll see. That's what happened with Florida State. When Florida State beat Alabama. When Alabama, man, they went down. I'm like, damn, Alabama lost. This wasn't a good weekend to bet. Well, actually, it was a good weekend if you bet on the underdogs. It was a good weekend for you. Yeah, Florida State, Darryl was coaching them. And he said it during the coaching session. He said, I'm gonna beat Alabama. He said it. He said, I'm gonna beat them. He said, I'm gonna beat Alabama. He said that when he was out there with Darryl and them, select QBs and Cam Ward. He said, I'm gonna beat Alabama, watch. And guess what? When he was at his old school, he beat Florida State. And now he with Florida State and beat Alabama. That's a winner right there. That's a kid that need to go to the NFL. He's a winner. I don't care how short he is. They say he about 5'11". That ain't short to me. But they got him listed at 5'11". He said people always talk about his height. Nah, his height ain't got nothing to do with if he a winner. He winning like that. They can overlook your height. Look at Doug Flutie. But all right, y'all, I'm going to get out of here. I'll catch y'all on the next one. I might come back later. We'll see. All right, y'all. I might come back to watch that North Carolina game with y'all. I might go live for that. We'll see over here. All right, y'all.